Glad to be here today on Media Day for our girls soccer team, and hard to believe, Coach, you are in your second year. A year ago was your first one.
Yep.
Let's just talk about you and as a head coach. What was that first year like for you?
Hectic, I would say. COVID kind of brought some special circumstances to the season.
Yeah.
So being my first year as a head coach of a program like Piqua, and then dealing with COVID and meeting all the new girls and having 13 seniors, it was a hectic but fun season.
You enjoyed the experience? I did,
absolutely.
Give me one quick thing. What did you learn from it, coming away from it as you were going to go into the season? Not so much as a team, but just as a coach.
Yeah, I think one of the main things that I want to do better this year that I learned last year was dealing with each girl individually and their individual skill set.
Right.
And that it's okay if I put a girl in a situation or in a position and then decide later that I want to move her. I think that that's okay, and I think that I need to have some leniency with myself on that.
Coach, you talked about 13 seniors.
Yeah.
That's a lot of seniors to replace. From your perspective going into it, and let's not get into the team's goals and all those expectations, but just 13 seniors to replace.
Yeah.
What's that like from your perspective? Because I know you put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah, absolutely. We did a lot of work this winter and spring with talking with the 8th graders and to see how many girls we could get out, girls that have had experience and girls that were excited to come in and help the program, and we ended up getting about 13 freshmen coming in. So we have a very young team. It's going to be a good building season, and I'm really excited to work with those girls.
Expectations, wins and losses, we all want to win, and what are some of your goals and expectations for this team this year?
My goal for this year is to do better than last year. That's always going to be the goal. We want to do better than last year, but we want to work with these young girls so that when they come in next year, they're comfortable as part of the team, and we want all of them to feel comfortable coming back to us next year. We don't want to lose girls after this season.
One of the things you had shared with me was off-season stuff, and really put more work in the off-season so the season we could reap the fruits of our labor, so to speak. How was that this year, and what you saw?
It was good. It was good. We had a good turnout, and all the girls that came worked extremely hard. We did a bunch of different things in the weight room, to doing interval training, to doing running conditioning, and all of the girls put in the work.
Kelsey, I'm going to ask you one quick question, and then let's be a good closer.
Okay.
You played in college.
I did.
And now coaching.
Yes.
Big difference?
Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
The biggest difference is when you're coaching from the sideline, you can see the entire field. On the field, you don't quite see everything, even though you are supposed to.
Right.
So I would say that kind of helps me get in the minds of the girls, because I understand that even though I'm telling them to be here right then, they don't always see that developing like I do from the sidelines.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to watching you develop that plan on the sideline, from the sideline to the field, and we wish you luck.
Yes, thank you very much.
We're going to come back and we're going to talk to our seniors and what should be a very exciting season for the girls soccer team. And with us now are some of our girls soccer players. I want to have them introduce themselves. Tell us your grade and the position that you play and your name.
All right, I'm Elise Cox. I'm going to be a senior, and I'm a right defensive back.
I'm Audrey Evans. I am a junior, and I am defensive mid.
I'm Bree Coy, and I'm going to be a senior, and I'm right defensive back.
Bree, I'm going to let you start with this question. What are you coming in this year? This is a little different. You've got a coach that's now been here for a year. She's coming into her second year. You guys did some good things, particularly as the end of the year last year. What are some things that you're looking forward to this year, as maybe goals, or just some things you're looking forward to as a player this year? And I'm going to let you pass it down, and everyone can answer that question.
I think I'm just gonna, for my goal is to help the teammates, and since I'm new at playing defense, have all of them help me too with it, and us work together more as a team than anything.
That's great. Good answer.
For this year, I'm excited to build off of what we had last year, and yeah.
This year, I'm looking forward to helping the team grow, as we're kind of a young team this year, so we have a lot to learn.
13 seniors graduating, so you got 5, so that is a big part of it, and helping those young kids come through. Let's talk about that real quick. From a leadership perspective, what are some of the things that you think are important to help those kids? Give me some examples of how you can help them through that.
I think just kind of as they're playing, give them tips on what to do and where to go, and kind of just being there as they need help on and off the field.
And encourage them a little bit, man. When things get things get a little challenging.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you all to go through this question for me.
Okay.
Name your what game are you looking forward to playing maybe the most?
I'm looking forward to the Sydney game the most.
The Jackets, okay.
Yep.
I'm also looking forward to the Sydney game.
I'm also looking forward to the Sydney game.
What is it about the Jackets in Sydney?
I think just because, like, we've always been so close to them, like, our teams are close to the same and everything, that I think it's going to be a good fight for it.
Well, we'll look forward to watching that one, and we probably can catch that one here on the Indian Nation station. Let's close this thing out. Tell me what you guys like to do for fun outside of soccer.
I like to hang out with my friends.
All right.
Either work or hang out with my friends.
Probably watch Netflix.
That's a good. What a fun group of girls, right? Well, girls, we certainly wish you luck. We encourage you to come down and watch them at Wirt Stadium. The schedule is online at Piqua City Schools on the athletics page. Come on down. These girls have worked really hard. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We'll be back with boys soccer when we return. With us now is our head soccer coach, Tom Wiseman. Tom, you're in your second year, and tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to from what you've learned from the first year just as a coach at Piqua coming into Piqua this year.
Well, we've got a lot more structure this year. Last year, of course, at the beginning of the year, we had a rough go of it, and then we started building and started building and started building. So we're trying to look at not only what the next 3 months is going to give us, but also the next 3 years, 5 years is going to give us. So that's the difference, is just having some sort of a structure, and we have it this year.
Tom, one of the things that when you have seniors graduate and you got a new group of seniors that are coming in, you got some seniors here that have been around the program for a while, and I think are buying into what you were throwing at them last year.
Well, we only graduated 3, so the numbers are good, and so we're returning 8 or 9 solid starters, and yeah, they've bought in. The attitude's much better. In fact, I remarked to one of my players that I appreciated his enthusiasm as opposed to last year. So yeah, they're starting to buy into the program. They understand what we can do and what we need to do.
Off-season work has really been done a lot this year with this team, and you guys started right away. I'm sure it's early yet in practice. Have you seen some of the fruits of your labor already in your early parts of the season?
We saw it in our friendlies in July. I mean, we played some pretty good teams, and our cardio is much better. We're stronger, we're faster, and just more cohesive. I mean, working together starting in January really helps when you get to July, August, September. So,
Coach, real quick, what's some of the expectations you have for this team this year?
Well, we told them honestly that if we don't win at least 8 games, at least half our games, we're going to be sorely disappointed. 10 wins is the expectation, and 12 is possible.
Well, Coach, I know one of the things that we like about what you do is you really do give them goals. You give them goals, and then you give them stretch goals, and that was just a great example of that. Looking forward to seeing how this team can mesh together, and if there's one thing that you would say that the people should be looking for this year, what would be the 1 or 2 ingredients about this team that's going to be special?
I would say better ball movement, more because they've played together now for a while, and we've got this again. We didn't graduate a lot of seniors, so because of that, they're just going to be a more cohesive unit on the field. I think the other thing too is last year when we had blowout losses, those aren't going to be blowouts. This year, we're going to be right in those games. We're
going to be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we certainly wish you luck, and we certainly are expecting great things from the Indians on the field this year.
Thank you.
We're going to come back. We're going to talk to some of our players and get their perspective of what they think the 21 season is going to look like. With us now is our boys soccer players for the year, and guys, we're going to have you guys introduce yourself, your name, and the class and the position you play.
Hi, I'm Casey Cantrell. I'm a junior and I play forward. I'm Camden Davidson. I'm a senior, and I'm a defensive back.
I'm Nick Heath. I'm a senior. I play right wing.
I'm Nathan Beaker. I'm a junior. I play centerman.
Nathan, let's start with you. Last year, we had some really bright spots. We were in a position where we really kind of finished our season pretty strong. And off-season work. We put a lot of time in the off-season. Talk a little bit about the expectations that you have for this team and some of the goals.
Well, differently from last year, we've already had numerous scrimmages. I'd say 7 or so scrimmages we've had, so that's really helped us because our team's changed a lot from last year because we didn't have those scrimmages last year. So we're really finding our balance in the
When you say scrimmages, we're not just talking. You're talking about summer and friendlies and tournaments and those things, right? Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, same question?
Absolutely. I figured.
We had an off-season program this year, so I mean, we've been in the weight room, we've had conditioning practices, we're in much better shape than we were last year, and again, those scrimmages definitely helped us.
I'm gonna hit you with a question on that part. The off-season stuff. We did a lot of conditioning and some ball work. How do you think that helped not just you, but our team?
It put us ahead of the competition. We're definitely in better shape. We're definitely better on our touches, better with our players can stay on the field longer because of the conditioning. And
Coach talked about that. He felt like in the friendlies and in your scrimmages you talked about, Nathan. Did you see that yourself? Did you feel that?
I definitely saw that. Our players were definitely in better shape than they were last year.
Good, good. Cam?
I think this year we got a lot more people coming out. It helps a lot with more people. We get to know each other a little bit more, and I think we started a lot earlier than we did last year, and we started a lot earlier than a lot of teams did last year as well. This year, really, I think coming into this, we got a good chance to beat any team out there, and we're going to be good.
Good, good.
Yeah, same with Nathan. We just got a good head start, better than the other teams, and think we're going to be good.
Well, let's talk about games. What games are you guys? I'm going to ask all four of you. What games would you guys, or could be game or games that you look forward to on the schedule this year?
I think Troy, because it was pretty close last year.
Okay.
Really looking forward to Vandalia Butler and Xenia, and obviously Troy. I mean, Troy's a big rival. Vandalia Butler, we had a bad game the first game, and then our second game we came back and we fought quite a bit. Then Xenia was always close last year, and I'm really looking forward to come back and winning those games.
Good.
I'm definitely looking forward to the rival games, the Sydney and Troy games. I think we have a good shot this year.
Good.
For me, honestly, every game matters, so we got to fight in every game. It doesn't matter who the competition is. We got to play hard. Doesn't matter good, bad. We can't have that mindset where we think we're going to go in and win. We got to play every game like the last.
One game at a time, and guys, you're running into, actually tonight will be your first scrimmage of the official season. You talked about the off-season scrimmages. You open up, actually, you get an opportunity to open up with Butler. That's your season. So things are coming here pretty quickly. You talk about, Nathan, one game at a time. We've got to take every game in a situation. Coach really talked about being competitive this year, and some of those games that maybe weren't as close last year, that gap's going to be closed.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way?
Yes. I mean, it doesn't matter. Last year, it's in the past. We can't change the scores or the results that we have, but you know what? This year, teams are new. We're new. We got up and coming younger players, and we're going to be better this year.
Yeah, your leadership, and you guys, one thing I should note, you guys were captains last year, and you're coming back again for this year. You've got a coach in the second year. I know the expectations are going to be high, and we certainly wish you all well.
Thank you.
We ask you guys to come out, check them out at Wirtz. You can catch them on the Indian Nation station. Schedule is online. Love to come out here and root these guys on. They've worked a lot in the off season, and certainly we wish you all the best. Go get them.
Thank you.
All right. We will be heading to the high school, and we will be talking to volleyball when we come back to you. We are now in Piqua Garbury Gymnasium, and we are with the new varsity head coach, Coach Jennifer Hulskamp. No stranger to Piqua volleyball, though. Former player, was our JV coach last year, been a coach in the program for multiple years in the junior high, and now is the head varsity coach. You are the CEO of the volleyball program for Piqua City Schools. One, congratulations.
Thank you.
And welcome to Media Day. This is a lot of excitement, a lot of energies in the gymnasium. You and I have had a lot of conversations about the expectations of this year. Before we get into that, though, let's just talk about you and being the head coach. What does that mean to you?
It means so much. It's actually pretty hard to put into words, and I kind of pinch myself sometimes. It's been a dream of mine for many years, and here we are, just walking into the gym. It feels, it's home.
Talk just, what's it like to be able to coach in the same place that you played?
It's pretty special. Not many people have that opportunity to come back and to be in the gym where I can remember having Midnight Madness and watching some of the elites that we had growing up. It's pretty special. Lots of memories.
The history of Piqua volleyball is very, very special. You and I were talking the other day about the state semifinal teams, the teams that got to Columbus in '92 and '93, and boy, that just doesn't seem that long ago, but it was, you know, almost 30 years ago. But here we are. You're now in charge of a program that is storied, and you get to put your spin on it, but yet keep the traditions of it. What can the Indian community, the Piqua community, expect from this year's volleyball team?
I think you can expect a pretty powerful season. I'm looking forward to being out in the community. We're doing some team events out and around, so I look forward to hearing a lot about us. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about our team. We've got 9 seniors. That's a lot of kids. I mean, typically volleyball, you're going to have anywhere between 3 to 5 to 6. We have 9 this year, and 9 good kids.
We do. We have some great girls. The whole program is filled with great girls from 7th grade up, but we do have a big group of seniors this year that they're excited and they're ready to start getting into games.
Well, leadership. You know, you look at that, and they've been through some of those wars, and now I think it's important, particularly when you got a first-year head coach. Now, you've been a part of the program, but there's some things that you've kept that Coach Drake was doing, but yet you've got your own things and spins to things. So I think their leadership is helping your transition.
Yeah, there are definitely some great leaders, not just in the senior class, but junior, sophomores. There's definitely leadership qualities in all of our girls.
Coach, I want to wrap up with this one for you. What are some of the things that you think, wins and losses, I know, getting into that, everybody's being competitive, but what are you really trying to establish in this first year as your head coach and what we're trying to get done?
I really just want to have a positive culture. What it really boils down to is getting deep into who they are and what they value, and being a team and that has a consistent set of values to go forward and keep pushing into November.
Well, you've got a great group of kids in here that's going to follow your lead.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to watching you here on the Indian Nation station. And Coach, we'll be talking to you throughout the season.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be back. We are going to talk to some girls, some of our seniors. I think they're going to have some interesting personalities. We're going to meet them here in just a little bit. We are with our volleyball seniors, and I have signed out and said we have some interesting personalities, and you're going to find out what I'm talking about. Ladies, go ahead and introduce yourself. Obviously, you're seniors. Give us your name and the position you play.
I'm Sydney Hawk, and I'm a middle.
I'm Aubrey Shrub, and I set in the middle.
I'm Reagan Toops, and I'm a defensive specialist.
I'm Emily Baker, and I'm an outside.
Emily, I'm going to let you hold it. Emily, this is new for you. This is your first media day, but it's new. Piqua is new for you completely. Talk a little bit about what's it like to be an Indian right now.
It's been different than the past years, but all the girls have been really welcoming and nice, so I'm excited.
Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. I'm going to let you answer the next question, and we'll just pass it on down. Okay. Tell us a little bit about what you are looking forward to, and your answer is going to be a little different than theirs because you really don't know what to expect. What are you looking forward to about Piqua?
I'm just looking forward to start the season with these girls and see how it goes.
Very good. Reagan, what's your expectations for this year? And I want to let you guys go through from where we were last year on building and how the foundation has been laid from previous years.
Expectation-wise, I would say just holding ourselves to a higher standard and taking every day to get better and just not not staying stagnant and getting as better as we can.
Great answer.
For me, I would just like to see like us beat the record we had last year, like improve little by little to kind of like set a pace for the following years.
Very good. Thank you, Aubrey.
I really want us to not be so much of underdogs as people around here think we are, or the schools around here, and just really come out and show that we can beat them and we can go far in the season.
Great segue. Let's now talk about what game are you guys looking forward to playing the most? I'm gonna let you start and pass it on down.
Okay. We actually scrimmaged Greenville this year already, so I'm really excited to play them. And then Sydney, obviously, just for the rivalry and the hype of the game.
Good.
I'd have to say Butler, just for the fact that these past 3 years we've always been head-to-head with them, and then they win, then we win, and then it's like back and forth. I just like to kind of put our name at the top. So.
Want to brand it?
Yeah,
Indians.
for senior.
All right.
I agree with Aubrey, but I'm definitely going to have to go with Sydney, for sure.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about the game, so I'm excited to play Sydney too.
Well, I am going to ask you 2 more questions. The first of the last 2 is talk a little about new coach. You guys are seniors now. You've got 9 of you, 9 seniors. You've got a new coach. This is new for you completely. This is new coach and new school. What have you seen a difference so far in coach, and how has it been a positive for our program?
She pushes us each day in practice. She makes sure we're okay, like with injuries. She's just been really great.
Good.
Like Emily said, I really do think she pushes us a lot, and I really like that about her. So.
Coach, she makes us do drills in practice to help change our mindsets during gameplay, and I just think that's going to play a really big role this year when we come to the big games and it comes like down to set by set.
All right.
I really think she believes in us because she does have a lot going on, and she really dedicates her time to make sure we're okay. We started this new thing where what's good going on in your life. Like, I just think that that's a good way to start practices and have her interested in our lives and not just, okay, we're here to play volleyball, let's go.
Good. Great segue. So last question, and I know Toopsie, you like preparation, so you'll be the 3rd person to answer this question. She'll have a little bit of time. We've talked about this. You guys have very fun personalities and are a great group. You guys have been playing together for many, many, many years. Even though, Em, you're coming in here and they're kind of just embracing you as your own. I want the Indian Nation station and our Indian Nation community to know, what are you guys like outside of volleyball? So tell me one thing you like to do outside of volleyball that you really enjoy, besides getting on your electronic and your phones and doing TikToks.
Well, I work at an ice cream shop and I love making ice cream.
I really enjoy to fish, which is
fish.
Yeah.
I guess I like to draw maybe and paint.
I like just hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah. Well, ladies, we certainly wish you well this year. People are going to get the opportunity to watch you on the Indian Nation station. You guys are going to be a lot of fun to watch, and great things are going to happen for Pickle volleyball. So go get them.
Yeah. Thank you.
We are going to head to the football stadium in Alexander, and we are going to talk a little gridiron when we come back. With us now is the head football coach of the Pickle Indians, affectionately known as Coach Bill Neese. Coach, here we are on Media Day, 221. 220 was good for the Indians. 221 as we flip the page. A lot of excitement after we coming off last night's scrimmage with Lima. A lot of excitement for the year and expectations.
I think so. I think the expectations are always going to be there in the course of the year. I think one of the best things we do and part of our culture is that we break it down every off season and we start back from the beginning again. So in no way, shape, or form, I mean, we've enjoyed last year. We enjoy that whole concept, everything with 2020 on it. But now we're looking to put the term into 2021, which means we can't rest on anything. We've got to go back and we've got to replace the offensive and defensive players of the league. We've got to replace 2 outstanding split ends. We've got to replace a defensive lineman who was a scholarship athlete. So we've got big shoes to fill, but we've also got some good-looking people that can come in and fill those shoes.
Coach, you talk about flipping the page and every year, but the Indians every year get everyone's best shot. It's, you know, everyone's it comes ready to go when they play Piqua.
I think so.
That won't be anything different. What you talk about filling those shoes, you've got some. You've obviously got some strong seniors, but you got some juniors and some sophomores also that are going to fill some spots for us that are really going to give us some leadership on both sides of the ball.
I think we do, and I think it starts with our offensive line. We've got 4 or 5 starters back on the offensive line. We've got 3 outstanding running backs that are back for us. Brady Ewell, our quarterback, was all league last year, so I think that's an excellent start. Our receiving core has been outstanding, you know, in the preseason. We had some 7-on-7 scrimmages, and I think those guys have really done well, and that was the big boost we needed. I think those 4 guys that can run the jets, those 4 guys that can run the crossings and kind of marry up a little bit of the RPOs with stuff we're doing on the ground. Now defensively, you know, again, the bar's always set pretty high, and that's no exception this year, and we've got a ton of all-league players back. We've got 3 starters back on the defensive line, 2 of which were first-team all-leaguers. We got 2 all-league linebackers coming back, and we got 3 in the back end of the defense that were all recognized as all-league players. So yeah, there's a lot of scrapbook material for people, but again, scrapbooks are for last year. We want to get those empty pages for this year and get some new stuff in it.
As we flip the script to our schedule and we look at the schedule, and of course we'll break each week down on the Bill and Neese Coaches Show here right on Indian Nation Station, but just briefly, this is the first year that we will have a full MVL schedule. So we'll have our 1 non-league game against Belmont in 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, I should say, on week 1 here at Alexander Stadium. And then we go into a 9-game league schedule with the Miami Valley League. Last year was our first year in the league in football, but this year is 9 games. From a coaching's perspective, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's good. I think we're going to be into the. We could have been into it a little bit last year. We got a taste of it a little bit last year, but I think this year will be full barrel, and we stay healthy and we continue. You know, one of the things we talk about around here quite a bit is we have to have our 11 best on the field every Friday night, and that includes the fact if we lose somebody, we got to have the depth that we need to overcome that situation. And a lot of high school football teams can't do that. Right now, we're building quite a bit of depth. We've done that the whole summer. So we're looking forward to the big year, moving into the new league where we have a full schedule, and we'll see what happens.
Coach, we'll look forward to speaking to you week to week as we get ready for the season. But we certainly wish you and your team well as the Indians get ready to lock in for the 2021 season.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back. We're going to talk to some of our returning senior and starters for us. We'll see you in a little bit. With us now are our senior players, returning starters, and guys, obviously last year was a special year, and as we turn the page and get ready for the 2021 season, a few things are going to be different. We're going to get a full 10-game schedule in. This will be the first year we get into a full schedule with the Miami Valley League. But before we get into that, we open up in 2 weeks. That's pretty exciting. Belmont comes to town, and just to be able to get back on the field underneath the lights, it's got to be a special feeling.
Yeah, so I think, being able to have a full crowd for the first time, and it seems like forever, but, having a full season is a big deal. Having a chance to play 10 games, it could put us in a good spot to see how we actually have prepared this summer and just see where we're at. Well,
and guys, if it's okay with you, I got so excited. Could you give us your name and your position that you play?
Oh, yeah, I'm Caleb Lyons, and I play offensive guard.
I'm Josiah Medley, and I play safety.
I'm Tanner Kemp, and I play linebacker.
Josiah, let's talk about the upcoming season and goals for you. What are some of the goals that you have, not necessarily just as individually, but as a team, and what you think we can accomplish?
Basically, we just want to repeat last season and just go undefeated again and keep everything moving into the playoffs.
Yeah, if I can talk to you a little about we'll talk playoffs down the road here, but let's talk about the season. What game is there out there that really stands out in your mind that you say, hey, it's important, or are they all important to you?
They're all important to me. I think they're all the same.
Good answer. Tanner, talk a little bit about the league. This is the year where we're going to go. You're going to get 10 games and you're going to put some people in the stands. Is that different when you're playing in front of a full crowd?
Yeah, I think it's different because there's more energy. Everything's louder. You kind of can't hear. You're more focused on the game and everything.
Very good. Thank you. Caleb, I'm going to ask you here as we get into our team. You guys as seniors, you guys have been playing together for a long time. You go back to youth football, some of you guys have been playing together since 3rd grade, 4th grade. Not to get too sentimental, because I know football guys, we're kind of tough, but it's kind of special to be playing with these guys and have a chance to do something special this year.
Yeah, so, you know, we've been playing together since we were 8 years old, and so I think that creates like a bond between us. You know, we know each and every person that we play together with, we know them very well, and it makes it easier out on the field, because you don't got to wonder if the guy next to you is going to work as hard as you, because you know that everybody's going to work just as hard, because we all have the same goal.
Guys, this stadium is 20 years anniversary. Coach Neese has been a part of this program over 30. Talk about Coach Neese. What's it like to play for Coach Neese, and what are some things that you guys have really gotten in individually and as a team from it?
So, like, Coach Neese is like a legend to us, and, you know, when we were kids growing up, you just look up to him and you're like, you don't really know much about him. He's kind of a mystery to you, and then as you get here and you start playing, you learn more about him, and he's just, you know, he's a great coach and he knows what he's talking about. And, you know, when we play other teams, they don't understand how we know what's going to happen. We out-scheme people, and it's a great thing to have that on your sideline.
So I'm going to ask you the same thing, and Tanner, if you don't mind answering the same.
To me, Coach Neese, he's everything. He's a great guy, great coach. I love playing for him. He's probably my favorite coach I've ever played for. He's just everything.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. He's a great coach. He always has us prepared for everything, watching film after practice, filming our own practices, and always watching other teams' films.
Well, and I would say it'd be fair to say the guy's got a good sense of humor, right?
Definitely.
the more you know about him, yeah.
Well, guys, we certainly wish you luck. But before we get into that, I'm going to throw you one surprise. We've asked this from a lot of our seniors today on Media Day. Tell us one thing you really enjoyed outside of football, that's something that brings you joy that a lot of people may not know about you. Josiah, I'm going to let you answer that first one, Tanner, and then Caleb will let you finish it up.
Man, people don't really know.
Yeah, what do you enjoy? What do you like to do outside besides getting on your electronic phone and doing TikTok dances?
I might have to go last on that one.
All right, I'll bring it back to Tanner.
I don't know.
Caleb, I know you got this one.
I mean, all we really do is play football in the summer, so we don't have a lot else. But I guess I like to fish.
Yeah,
you know, that's probably what I do. Other than that, in the summertime.
You like to do some hunting too,
I like to hunt. Yeah,
if I know correctly.
Yeah, that's a good time too. Those are my things I like to do. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, honestly, I like to golf.
Yeah.
I like to go to the mall.
Hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
Hey, we had someone tell us they like to. Lise Cox says she likes to get on Netflix. How about that? See, there's a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
Guys, back to in all seriousness, we certainly wish you guys all luck this year, and we know it's going to be a special season. Stay healthy, and all the best to you.
Thank you.
Guys, we will be back. We are going to talk to our cheerleaders here in a little bit, as they are the ones going to really set the tone of the energy in Alexander Stadium. We'll be right back. With us now is our athletic trainer, Katie Smith. 20-year anniversary. Great. Now, while we know 20-year anniversary, a couple reasons. This stadium was built 20 years ago. You started, this was year one. What a great year to start as an athletic trainer. Let's talk a little bit about your tenure as an athletic trainer here, Katie. What have you seen? What have you been? Well, first of all, what do you like so much about Piqua?
Well, when I first came to Piqua, you know, I saw a lot of similarities in where I grew up. And you know, the community was very inviting. I felt welcome. I was also pretty young and impressionable. But it was really fun coming into the community and learning about Piqua. And I wasn't that far from home. You know, I was where I grew up, so I felt it was close enough, and it gave me some space to grow. And that's what has happened. I've just grown.
And if I can say a little personal, and you met your husband here.
I did meet my husband here. Yes.
He's Coach Josh Smith, our football coach. He's coached several levels. He's now one of our varsity assistants. Yes. Do you mind talking about that?
No. You know, managed to meet here just through a coincidence of being in sports, and had our first date after church, and it just kind of grew from there. And like I said, it's just been a place where I've been able to grow and kind of move into the city. I taught elementary for a few years, phys ed, and I moved to the high school. Now I'm in high school to teach health and athletic training.
Yeah.
So it's been a place of growth for me, and it's part of the community.
Well, and you've got a son together, Colin, and we see him running around a lot here, not just on Friday nights, but all year round.
All year round. He loves it out here. He gets the opportunity to run on the field all the time, and he absolutely loves it. The kids are great with him, the athletes, he's just like part of the team.
Well, we are lucky to have you, and you're very good at what you do. You have you've literally saved lives, and in fact, on this property, you literally saved a life with an AED machine, and how important those things are. A young man is able. He's actually a track athlete at Ohio State. So those things to you, coming here every day when you know you're on. It's not just, hey, I've got to coach a kid today. You could make a difference in whether or not they're going to be able to play and compete the next day, or even in the case that we talked about, save a life.
Right. It's always in the back of your mind that like you may just have to give somebody a Band-Aid one day, or give them a water bottle. And the next day, though, you may be putting them in an ice bath because they're overheated and you have to get their temperature down.
Right.
Or you have to run and get the AED, and you have to pop a finger back in place, or you have to pop a shoulder back in place, or you have to call a squad and wait for it and keep people calm. You never know what that moment's going to be. And to this day, since I started, before a game, I always say like a little bit of prayer just to keep everybody safe, and that whatever happens, I have the best knowledge and ability to do what I need to do.
We have a good group of coaches here, and obviously great kids. You get to see a different side of them. You get to see the fun side, obviously the serious side. You really get to know who they are. You've seen a lot of kids come through. Is that, I would have to think that's probably one of the highlights of the job, of just getting to see people, coaches, parents, kids that ain't really getting to know the full person.
Yeah, it really is, because in the classroom you get to know kids just in that 42 minutes. Being out here in athletics, you get to see a little bit of their other side, their other part of their personality. You get to meet their parents. You get to see their siblings and how they relate with each other, and it's just, you get the full experience a little bit of the person, and you get to see like them come back later. When they come back, alumni come back, and they see you and still call me by my maiden name and everything else. It's cool. I like it. It's fun.
Katie, real quick before we wrap up, a little bit about this year. Obviously, we're coming off of a pandemic, and it was it's coming back, kind of creeping here again. There seems to be some normalcy a little bit.
Yeah.
But you and I talked about this just as recent as last night. You were sanitizing and doing all those things before COVID hit. So really, those kind of things don't really change for you.
No, they don't. Like you always have to just stay on top of it. There's always been stuff that people can get. So it's not really a matter of just preventing COVID. There's other things out there too. You don't necessarily want to get a cold, the flu, the mono, any one of those things. So we try to take the precautions pretty serious. So we wash things down, wipe them down, make sure things are sanitized, clean. Kids get wounds and things, we clean those. We just try to keep on top of all those types of things.
Well, Katie, thanks for not just being here today, but thanks for what you do for our kids. Thanks for what you do for Piqua, and we're looking for another exciting 20, right?
Right. Not quite 20.
We will be back here. We're going to talk to cheerleaders when we return. With us now is our head varsity cheer coach, Morgan Moore. Morgan, welcome.
Hi.
Here we are, Media Day. You're going into, you finished year 5, you're going into year 6.
Yep.
We're coming off of a very unusual year, as many people, and in the business that you are. And by the way, you should tell people what you do for a living, not just a full-time cheer coach.
Well, I'm an executive director of an assisted living, so the last year and a half's been a lot of fun.
A very interesting time.
Yes.
So I don't know that we're completely out of the pandemic, but we're trying to smoothly move out of it. But one thing that's going to be different this year is we're actually going to have people in the stands. As a cheerleading leader or coach like yourself, our cheerleaders got to be excited about bringing people back in the stands.
They're very excited about bringing fans back. Absolutely, yes.
So we've talked about some things of what we're going to do to generate that energy. So what are some things that we're going to do this year to maybe to welcome people back into Alexander Stadium as we celebrate 20 years of anniversary here at Alexander Stadium, Perk Field?
Well, I can tell you for sure that our spirit sheets are on point. We have tons. Can't wait to have my garage back. So we're really excited. We've actually started to figure out when we can put them out there because we want them out now because we're so excited for them this year. But just, we have a lot of energy this year with the girls, a lot new chants with signs, trying to really feed into the band with the music and just really getting people up and a lot more noise up there.
You talk about the sheets, and I think when you say up, people have taken notice here in the last couple of years because that used to be a thing kind of back when you were a cheerleader, and now it's your coaching and leading, you're bringing back the sheets, and it seems to have a lot of controversy of people stealing sheets, and but it's been kind of fun, hasn't it?
It adds a lot of hype, yes, and we're seeing a lot more teams wanting to do it for their teams, so it's kind of exciting because we're also helping volleyball, we're helping softball, all of those things, do some extra special sheets for them too, so it's really exciting.
Get a tad of the old school in there still.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how this year is going to be a little bit different. We're starting school. There's a team out there a lot of people get excited about. I think it's Troy.
Absolutely. We're a little bummed before that we're having it before school.
So yeah, that's a little different. So usually that's been week 10, which we've got a week to kind of build up as we do road rallies and we have downtown rallies and we have a lot of different things that we do. We can't do that this year because it's before school. So I'd like you to be the first person to announce to our community about what we're going to do for the Troy game.
We'll be having a Torch the Trojans rally.
That's to be a bonfire here right at Alexander Stadium. Well, it won't be in Alexander Stadium. It'll be outside of Alexander Stadium. I don't think Mr. Thompson much appreciate that. But I do think that'll be something different. People can come. We did a couple years ago with kind of the Burn the Bee concept, and
we like it. It has a new ring to it, better than the Trash Troy. So we're on board with it.
Well, we are going to do that. We also are going to will be a homecoming parade. So people say, well, we still love the parade, so we're going to substitute the Troy parade with the homecoming parade, and there'll be a lot of things, activities to get the fans involved with. But I think I should at least give you the chance to talk about what our first game's going to be. It'll be August 20th against Belmont, and it'll be a whiteout.
Yeah, we're excited to have a whiteout with the fans and the student section and the powder and all the balloons and all the good things that come with it.
I didn't hear anything about powder, so.
Well, we have a lot of plans of our own.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I know we're just glad to have everybody back. And the one thing I should announce is every student, grades 4 through 12, that come to the game that night will get in free, and they're going to get a free t-shirt. We're going to be giving them out at the tailgate party. There's going to be a big tailgate party, Morgan, right outside the stadium. It'll be free, key word, free cheeseburgers from Susie's Big Dipper. And they'll also have ice cream for purchase. And the Booster Club is sponsoring that. There'll be a bouncy house. I know there'll be a lot of energy with music and t-shirts, and we expect the student section to be rocking and rolling to get the season off to a good start.
Absolutely, we'll be ready and loud, proud, excited to be here.
I would be remiss if I didn't talk about competition cheerleading, because that is important to cheer. A lot of people see sideline cheer and that's what they think cheerleading is, but now looking at competition cheerleading is maybe even being an Olympic sport they're looking at turning that into. So we've been pretty good at competition cheer, particularly since you've taken the helm. Talk a little bit about those expectations this year and a little bit what we've done so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have actually already had our camp and choreographed our entire routine. The girls are super excited this year for it. It's a really awesome routine. I have 10 strong girls this year. And we actually start our competition season next Sunday at the Miami County Fair, and then we have 2 to 4 every month. scheduled right now, so we're looking forward to it.
Girls are really excited. And you know, we talk about the choreographed. Our show choir which is probably the best show choir in the state of Ohio, if not greater than that. We're pretty lucky to have them. The person that choreographs them also choreographs our cheer. We fly him in from New York City. This is the second or third year that we've done this with him.
This is the third year, yep.
Talk a little bit about that and what that experience is like. As different it is just going to a cheer camp like we've used to.
Yeah, so it's a lot more personalized. So instead of going to a large cheer camp where there's other schools and things where you're really just learning sideline chants or technique, we're really just with the 10 of us for a long 2 days process where he comes and personally does routines and personally talks to the girls on technique and critiquing things that he would see from them. So it's a really good time. We become like a lot tighter with each other and a lot stronger of a bond, just the 10 of us, rather than being in a large school at Ohio State or Bowling Green and being out there with 100 other people. So
we got a special group of girls, and we've got a good group, and they work hard, and they're very, very athletic. More people would be probably surprised about how athletic they are, and they're going to showcase it this year. We thank you for your leadership.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And we are going to come back and we're going to meet our senior cheerleaders. They're a treat. We'll see you when we get back. I told you we were going to bring a group in for you, a fun group. This is a unique group for sure. This is our senior cheerleaders. I'm going to have them introduce you by their name, and of course I'm going to have them tell you what grade they're in.
I'm Kara Reed and I'm a senior.
I'm JC Kessler and I'm a senior.
I'm Kaya Sowers, I'm a senior. I'm Carrera Whaley and I'm a senior.
Carrera, I'm going to have you hold it here. You're going to answer the first question. This year is going to look a little different than last year. We're actually going to put people back in the stadium. What's that like as a cheerleader, knowing that you have people that you can actually cheer to this year and get people fired up?
Well, games are actually not going to be boring this year. We're actually going to have someone to cheer to, obviously, like you said.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're actually going to have a crowd, so it'll actually be exciting to cheer for people in the student section and everything like that.
Yeah, go ahead. Same question. I want to bring it on down. You guys all answer, because y'all may have different answers for that.
I just feel like it's going to be more fun, the tumbling part, especially I feel like with more fans, I do more tumbling, and it's a lot more fun and everything. And then plus the student section, I like to get them hyped and everything.
Yeah.
I think it'll be more fun because there's people that we can cheer to, so we'll be able to get the boys more hyped up and scream them on for victory.
The boys already personally get me hyped up, but I don't know, I'd say I'm their biggest fan. But the crowd would definitely help. I do tumble a lot more, like Kaya said. The crowd definitely hypes me up a lot more.
Friday night lights, there's something special about the lights on, isn't it, ladies?
Yeah. It is.
And you get the band in the fourth quarter, and we get our traditions rolling. Talk a little bit about being seniors. What's it like to be a senior and not keeping it emotional, but how special is this year for you, knowing this is the last one? I'm going to ask you all that question.
It's definitely something weird to think about. I feel like I'm still an underclassman, but it's weird, like it's our last time there, and the stadium's like, it's a different type of feeling, I guess, like being with all the people in our grade, the people we grew up with. So it's definitely going to be a fun year this season. I hope the boys have a good season.
I think it's also very weird and exciting at the same time. It's very bittersweet. I feel like I'm still in the 8th grade, so I don't really know how to feel about it. But other than that, I think it's pretty exciting.
I'm really excited for this year, but sad at the same time. So it's exciting being a senior, but I'm also obviously terrified because I don't want to grow up and I want to be a kid forever. I'm like not ready, but it's going to be a good year and I'm really ready for it.
Let's make this year stretch. Let's enjoy it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good year, and I'm going to give you guys an announcement that you guys don't know. We just announced it, Coach Moore just announced it just a little bit ago. So the Troy game is an important game. Everybody gets hyped up. Unfortunately, we're not in school when that game comes into play. So we are actually going to have a pep rally. It's going to be right here at the field, and it's going to be a bonfire called Torch the Trojans. Yeah.
I think we should do Burn the Bee this year too, for Sydney. Yeah, we have to. We have to too.
Well, we are in a special place because we have some rivalries that you just mentioned. You got Troy, you got Sydney. Pickle's a special place, and it's a special place to cheer for because you do have those special rivalries. What's it like to cheer for those games? Not that the other games aren't special, because they are, and they're all important. The boys talked about each each game is really important. But for you guys have always told me, hey, the Troy game and the Sydney game has a little extra spice to it.
Okay, yeah, so like you said, obviously all the games are important for like playoffs and to succeed throughout the season, but like Troy game and Sydney game, it's like a whole new feeling of like adrenaline and like excitement, and we all just want to be there and like hype them up and obviously win, because it's I don't know, it's just the best part of the year.
Yeah.
Those games are the best.
Same questions. Yeah. The Troy and Piqua rivalry, it's special. And why is it special for you?
Well, I just kind of think it's like the other people, like they kind of make me want to beat them just because the other people, like
they're the enemy.
Sydney and Troy, like I want to beat them. I think it's fun to do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think it's fun because just like how hype everyone gets, and like you always see like people yelling across the course, like past the stadium, and it's, I don't know, it's just fun to like see everybody.
Sometimes
get so
people steal sheets, right?
Yes, rip them
at Sydney next time.
Yeah.
Like Chip said with the sheets, it's definitely one of the best parts of the game when we're like stealing each other's sheets, passing them down. But then I also feel like it comes down to like a tumble off between the cheerleaders.
Yeah,
the cheerleaders are going at it, and then the football team, and everyone's just getting hyped. Everyone, like we all know each other, so it's even more intense. So I just feel like it's a really good game to watch.
Good energy. I want to ask two more questions. One has to do with cheerleading. The other one is completely to do with nothing to do with cheerleading. The sheets. It is a great focal point for a lot of people. They love seeing those sheets up and down. And it's not just football. Coach mentioned that you do other sports. Is it fun to make those sheets? What's it like going into that?
So basically we all get together and we buy sheets and bring paint, and we just look up signs and basically spend the whole day together, a few weekends of a month trying to get all the sheets in, because we know the boys love them. Like it just gets everyone hyped, so especially like those sheets that narrow down a certain school. Those are the ones that normally get stolen. It's go time at that point.
I think it's very fun for me because we're all kind of like team bonding in a way, and it's like exciting just to see like all the boys and how they get excited from just like something that we created.
I think it's really fun, and I also think like some of the sheets are like very positive, and some of them are really like, you know, a little cocky and getting a little sassy, you know. And I just think it's a good way for us to bond, and we always have a little like drama then and there, and I feel like it helps us out to get closer every year.
Right.
I think the funnest part about doing sheets is probably when we have to decide whether or not what we're putting on the sheet is okay to put on the sheet. And just getting together with the team and like deciding like what to do and how many we should do, because we have to fill up the entire fence for Troy game and stuff like that.
No doubt it brings a whole nother energy, and not just the team gets into it, but the school and our community seem to have really taken to the old school sheet. So it's great to see you guys back doing that again. So thank you. All right, here we go. Last has nothing to do with cheerleading. Although we want real quick competition cheer. It's pretty important to you guys, and you guys have really been good through the years and have been pretty. Not just been good. We've won some trophies and have won some recognition. Mm-hmm. How hard is that in terms of time, effort that you guys put into? You guys love that?
Yes, absolutely. So from the beginning, we usually, this year we had a 9-hour cheer camp to learn our entire routine in one day, and we actually have a competition in a week, and we've had 2 weeks to match our routine that we just learned up with our music that we just got. So it's a lot of hard work, and it's hard. Sometimes we do tumbling that we're not sure if we're ready to pull, and like it's a lot.
I think it's a lot, but at the end it turns out really good. We've always had really good routines, and like I think this one will be a good year. We have a lot of good like motions and tumbling spots, and I think it's going to be a good year for us.
Learning itself, I think like we put in a lot of work, and then like just going in every day to make sure we're spot on for the specific competitions to beat specifically Troy and Sydney. I think that's nice, and it's just like very fun to have that like competition days, the 9-hour practices, to really just get along with our teammates and have fun.
Definitely to follow what JC said, we do put a lot of long, hard days in, and I've definitely found my face like 100 times trying to pull a skill that I don't necessarily have yet, but just trying to, we plan to get that MVL title this year, and we're going back to the state championship. It's just what it is.
I love your energy, and I love your excitement about it. I think what people don't know is a lot of people don't know that you guys do more than just cheering on the sideline and getting our teams fired up to play on Friday nights. You guys are too in a competition where it gets competitive, and we were just talking in the last segment, we're looking to make it an Olympic sport now. So you guys have been successful, and we're certainly wishing you guys all the best luck with that. Okay, here we go. Fun question. Nothing to do with cheerleading. Tell us one thing you really enjoy doing outside of cheerleading that's just fun for you.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God.
It could be anything. Now,
Can it be a sport?
it can be a sport. It can be anything to do with friends. It could be anything to do with a hobby you like.
I have to think.
I don't want to give you some of the answers that I heard today, but I'll give them to you when you guys get finished.
You go. I don't know. You go. Okay. Well, I really like to play softball in my free time. That's all I do. Summer, fall, winter,
All right.
spring.
So you like to work on your craft in softball?
Yeah.
All right. Now, all three of you are social, so I know there's things that you guys like to do. Hang out with.
I know JC likes hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
That's been the go-to today.
I guess I like to work to get that money so I can go shopping.
That's been another one that's been popular today. Work and friends.
Yeah, I have a really bad shopping addiction. I spend a lot of money on wine-ins, and I like hanging out with my friends. That's basically all I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably the same thing. I like to hang out with my friends and just be dumb and live while I'm young.
Yeah.
Well, we had a couple today we had one that said they like to binge watch Netflix.
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of everything out there. Ladies, in all seriousness, thanks for your time today. Moreover, good luck this year. Enjoy it. We're looking forward to seeing some great things on the sidelines and in the world of competition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Indian Nation, this wraps up the fall sports preview. Who better to fill out the end of the show than with our cheerleaders, because we are going to say in those three important words, we are Piqua. We're going to do it again because we're going to say in those three important words because we're with the cheerleaders, and who better off to finish it off with in those three important words. Remember, the Indian Nation station, you can catch all your athletic action also on the YouTube channel. Ladies, on the count of three, 1, 2, 3, we are Piqua! Welcome to Media Day here at Echo Hills Golf Course, and with us is our head golf coach, Andy Johnson. And Andy, here we are. You've actually already started your season last week. In the first week, golf is a little bit different than some of the other sports. You guys practice a couple days and away you roll. Talk to us a little about Greenville and how that first match went, but then again the expectations of the season.
It was a good start for us. Turtle Creek is always a challenging course, especially for kids that haven't played there before, and we got off to a pretty good start. Evan Hensler finished in the top 5, played pretty well. The other guys, their scores may not be what they wanted them to be, but they all after the match realized if we take out one bad hole here and there, we played a lot better. So they're positive and they're optimistic, and they realize their potential, and that's what a lot of the season's based on, is their potential. They've been working really hard in the off season. They realize if they minimize their mistakes, we could be a pretty good team.
Well, when you look at guys that are coming back, you certainly look at Evan Hensler as one of our top players, and of course, as you mentioned, he finished in the top 5 at Turtle Creek. Senior, been around, has been through some of those tough courses and matches. Leadership we expecting from Evan this year? Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of leadership by example. He knows the courses, he knows how to play them, and he's just going out there and executing and having a lot of these guys follow him. Richard Price is going to be the 2-man. He's going to be right behind him, and I think those two guys are going to do a really good job of leading us and keeping us in a lot of matches.
I think watching Richard last year was fun to see him grow and develop in front of our own eyes, and he puts a lot of time, as a lot of the guys do, but he really puts a lot of time into the course in the summer and in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, he plays a lot here, he plays a lot in Michigan, so he gets to play a variety of courses, and that helps him out because the courses that we see here, some of them are pretty easy and some of them are pretty challenging. So he gets a good variety in the summer, and that prepares him very well for the golf season.
Talk a little about the league and where the Indians stand in that league, and how we were talking this morning about, we got some young kids coming in at Tip and Butler, but across the board, you know, it could be a year where it could be open.
Yeah, I mean, Tip is always going to be at the top. They've got a lot of talent, and they're going to be the team to beat. But then after that, it's pretty much wide open. Anybody that can get hot and play some solid matches is going to have a real opportunity to come in second and third and really push Tip. I mean, Tip's going to come in, they're going to be really good in every match they play, but the better that we play, the more confidence we gain, we can push them and see what happens.
Talk about Echo, just what is it like here for our kids playing here? It seems like a real advantage for us. Obviously, Chip Fox, and they've been very gracious allowing us to play here. Our kids seem to really historically play well here because they enjoy the course.
Yeah, there's definitely a comfort level here. And like you said, Chip does a great job helping the kids out and really motivating them to play golf. He knows that the future of golf is in the youngsters and tries to really get them involved. And that, along with the kids playing here a lot, really, like I said, they get some confidence from playing here. And they believe they can win every match that they play here because they know the course, they know what it takes, and just, like I said, there's the comfort level.
We know that, Coach, you have high expectations of this team. Give me one or two matches that you think our kids really look forward to playing and participating in when you look at our schedule, whether it's a team or just even an 18-hole course tournament.
Sydney for sure. Sydney with the rivalry, we always like to play those guys, and then also playing Troy, and Greenville will be another one. Those are the three teams that we face a lot throughout the year, whether it's invitationals or matches. We usually play them once or twice, but they're also kids that we enjoy playing with. They're good groups, they're well coached, very respectful, and we just have a good time whenever we play those guys.
Golf's not a gladiator sport, so it's a lot more of, it's competitive, but like you said, you get to know who they are because you're walking around with them for 9 holes or 18 holes.
Right.
But I expect the Indians will be right there being competitive and putting in the shot where we're going to be right there.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach, we wish you well. We're going to come back. We're going to speak with two of our seniors when we return. With us now are our seniors. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Go ahead.
I'm Lucas Camoli, senior.
Evan Hensler, senior.
Evan, let's talk a little bit about this year. Here you are, you're a senior, and obviously you've been a big part of this program. Have had a lot of success here the last few years. What's it like for you being a senior, knowing this is it, and having a chance to do something special?
It's kind of hard knowing that I'm a senior, but I'm going to push myself every day, try to get better every day, show the team how to play. Goals-wise,
you finished in the top 5 the other day at Greenville. That's certainly a great way to start the season.
Yep.
Any goals for let's talk about the team and then be yourself individually.
For the tournaments, for the team, I want everybody to shoot under 100, and then for me myself, I just want to shoot even par. That's a goal for me.
Good. Lucas, I want to throw it over to your way. What's some of the goals and expectations you have for your team and yourself?
Some of the goals I have for myself be shoot lower than probably a 65 or so.
Okay.
Hit maybe just above par. Good. And for the team, I hope that we all can shoot low numbers for matches and tournaments. Get some good low numbers this year.
Let's talk about the matches. What 1 or 2 matches do you look forward to playing in this year when you look at the schedule? Any team in particular you like playing?
I don't really think so.
You like them all?
I'm just hoping to.
Any course you like? Is your favorite course?
So far, probably this one. This one I play best.
Echo. We were just talking about how special Echo is. Great.
This one I play best.
I'm looking forward to playing Troy, Greenville, because they're just all around good guys on that team.
Yeah.
And then just, I don't know.
What's your favorite course away from Echo? You're a course connoisseur.
I would have to say Turtle Creek or Troy Country Club, the one we're playing at today. Yep.
Those are good courses. Well, we certainly wish you guys luck, but I'm going to finish out with a question we've been asking our seniors this year. Outside of golf, what are some of those, what's a hobby or something you enjoy doing outside of playing golf for the Indians? We've got a random amount of answers.
That's a tough one. I had no idea.
What do you do outside of golf?
I work.
You work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see, that's a popular one. You like to work.
Yep.
Okay. Where do you work at?
Ultimate Fence and Landscaping.
All right. That's a good plug for the shrubs.
Yep.
All right. Molly, what are some things that you enjoy doing outside?
Outside of golf, I do show choir, and between show choir and work is pretty much all I do.
All right, very good. Well, thank you very much, guys. We certainly wish you guys luck. You can catch the Indians out here. The schedule's online, the Pickle City Schools athletic website, and you can catch them out here. Some good golf here at Echo Hills. We'll be back. We're going to talk to the girls' coaches when we come back. With us now is our head girls golf coach, Mr. Tyler Bergman. Tyler, welcome to this year, and hard to believe, is this year 4 for you?
5.
5. My time goes fast.
I know. It's crazy.
That long. Tyler, going to year 5, obviously you've got a good sense of our program and our kids and how things are going. Where do you see the program right now, and how do you feel with looking at the numbers today for picture day? We had quite a few kids out.
Yeah, this is the most we've had since I think I've been here, so in that aspect it's good. We have a lot of new girls, so scores are going to be a little different, but you got to start somewhere. So we're going to get these new girls and we're going to teach them how to play, and hopefully in years to come we're going to continue getting better and better. You know, it's interesting, you look at the history of Pickle girls golf. It really kind of started with a couple girls, and it's kind of kept its momentum. And girls golf, the popularity of girls golf has changed. And it's not just a Pickle, but Pickle consistently, it's like good teams, but we've had a lot of kids that just want to play. And I think that's a tribute to the coaches, but I think it's also a tribute to the sport. Do you see the sport growing for girls? Yeah, for sure. Not just here too. At golf courses you go to, you see a lot of young people out there. So the more girls we can get, this is something they can do for the rest of their lives, and we can come out and have fun. So it's not always about winning. Yeah, we want to compete, but it's also for them to have some fun and something they can do past high school. Well, it's a sport that they can take with them and play lifelong. Let's talk a little about this year, though. Obviously, I think if anyone's doing their homework, they're looking at Kenzie Anderson as our best player, and probably, arguably, could be one of the better players in the Miami Valley League. So, talk a little about Kenzie, her leadership, and your expectations for her this year. Kenzie's come a long way since her freshman year. Last year she was first team MVL, so we certainly look to build on that. She has a couple school records in mind, so we can see if we can get those, and hopefully our goal is to get her to districts this year. Yeah, Kenzie really does put, she's obviously very athletic, but she puts time into it, and she really, tell you, she's got a nice, we talk about her swing, maybe not necessarily the ideal golf conventional swing, right? But she finds a way to get it done, and she's very coachable. Yes, very. She listens to pretty much anything you tell her, and she's willing to take advice. In the summer, she's asking the other girls to play, and she's helping the new girls this year with the rules already, and just making them feel at home on the team. Very good. Coach, we wish you well, and we know it'll be a good year for our team, and we're going to have a lot of growth. Appreciate it. We'll be back. We are going to talk to Kenzie Anderson. You'll enjoy her. One of our most special seniors and is beside me, Kenzie Anderson. Kenzie is a 3-sport athlete. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but sport 1 is golf. Yep. Here we go. Kenzie, talk a little bit about what are you looking forward to your senior year in golf? What are some of your goals and your expectations for this year?
I am hoping to hit in the 30s this year. My lowest score is, I think, a 41 or 42, and I'm hoping to hit below that. Great.
What's it like being a part of a team and a program that it's been around for a long time, but there's been some good golfers. You've got a chance to maybe put yourself in a situation where you might be able to get some records, and you're creeping close to a couple of those. Talk a little bit about what those records are and what your approach to it is mentally.
I don't know exactly what the records are. I know they're in the 30s. I'm pretty sure Kelsey Bachman has one. Yeah. I'm hoping to get it. I'm getting really close, but I have to put a lot of work in to get there. Well, you talk about the work. You talk about, Kelsey, obviously she was one of the best players that we've ever had play here at Pickwa. You could be yourself in that, but you're also part of a team. It's not an individual sport. You're leading a team. What are some of the things that you think you need to do to help lead our team this year? I think I need to make sure the girls stay calm. Yeah. And don't get so stressed, because that's like one of the biggest things in golf. When you get stressed out, you don't play good anymore. Yeah, well, a lot of times it's from the neck up. You need to get yourself. You can beat yourself mentally before. Yeah, that's a good one. Speaking of good, let's talk about teams or courses that you're looking forward to playing to this year. I'm looking forward to playing Greenville and Troy.
Why those two?
Well, Greenville, I play with Kenna, Jenkinson, and she's really good, and I like playing with her. She's a nice girl, and she also helps me out a little bit. And Troy is just, they're always fun to play with, and their course is really nice.
Yeah. Well, we were talking with the boys, like the boys, golf, it's not like a combative sport. You know, it's a little bit more, it's competitive, but like you say, that you're willing to help each other out. Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you a question I've asked all of our seniors.
Okay.
One thing you enjoy, you like to do outside of golf. What are some of the things that Kenzie enjoys doing when you're not?
I play softball and basketball, so I enjoy playing those sports. I hang out with my family a lot. That's one thing I really like to do.
That's good. She's a three-sport athlete, as you talked about, basketball and softball. We'll get to see you a little bit later. Do you enjoy playing three sports?
Yes.
Keeps you moving?
Yeah.
Well, Kenzie, we wish you luck, all the best, and we know it's going to be a good year for you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here with us for golf. We are now going to head to cross country, and we're going to see if we can catch up with those runners. With us now is our head girls coach for cross country, Ryan King. And Ryan, we don't have our boys coach Seth Fasher with us today. He's on the mend, but Coach, we're looking forward to a great year again. And is this year 5 for you?
This is year 6, I believe. Yeah.
I was off on the other one. That's hard to believe. That's coming. Yeah. So year 6. Where are we with the program in your mind compared to where we were when we started?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're starting to do is kind of mature as a program a little bit. It's not so much trying to scrape up any kid we can, you know, as we probably were in the beginning, and now we're starting to get to the place where kids are part of the program and invested in the program, kind of know what to expect, and we see that a lot, particularly this year with both the incoming freshmen as well as our seniors and juniors.
Cross country, you've got to put a lot of road miles in outside of practice and outside of workouts. This summer, though, you know, last year COVID was in some ways a blessing for cross country that you're able to get a lot of kids to come out and work out in the summer. I saw that transcending again this summer. Those summer workouts real helpful. I'm taking it.
Yeah, we've had fantastic turnout. And in fact, we do a summer incentive and had a large majority of the kids that earned it because they came out. And cross country is a sport that you just can't show up and expect to have a good season if you come late. And it's great that the kids have bought in.
Well, let's talk about this upcoming year and expectations. Some exciting things are on the horizon potentially for the Indians, and so talk a little bit about maybe the girls, and then we can get into the boys.
Sure. Girls will be a little bit still of a growing year. We've got a pretty young crew, a lot of freshmen coming in, but they most of them ran for 2 years in junior high, so they're developing well. I think they'll be good, and the camaraderie is good. So I think we're going to have a solid season with them. On the boys' side, we should be pretty strong. We've got some incoming freshmen that are strong, but we've got some seniors that have continued to be good. So we expect a pretty strong season for the boys.
Real quick before we get into the boys' season, just talk individually on the girls. We've got somebody that's been pretty good for us, and Cassie Shrub. She has a chance to maybe get to regionals for a 4th year, and we don't want to put that pressure on her because that's something that you never take for granted. But to have someone have the opportunity to put themselves in that position says a lot about them and just the work that they've done up to this point.
Yeah, and specifically this year, she's pretty determined. She's been working hard, so I think she's going to have a great season. I think it's encouraging to have those numbers behind her, and she's seeing more of a team working with her, so the other girls are going to play a large part in Cassie's success as well.
I was just up there talking to Cassie actually before we got to talking, and when she was speaking, all the girls were standing around listening to her. She carries a lot of, I think, a lot of respect from them. And from a leadership perspective, she's somebody that I know that you count on.
Absolutely, she's a leader on her team for sure.
Moving to the boys, boys had a nice year last year, and I know in the districts you felt like it was an opportunity that we maybe as a team had a chance to advance, and we were just a little short on that goal. But this year, again, a chance for us to do something that's special the team hasn't done in boys cross country in many, many years.
Yeah, you know, I think this year we're going to experience where we have volume and depth to the guys that are running good times. And again, some of that's even our freshmen are coming in are going to help with that. So we're in a situation now where for those top 5 or 7 spots, we're actually seeing some competition for those spots, which will translate into scoring well. So
you don't talk a lot about junior high athletics in the sense of how that translates to high school, but for you, this is a little unique, having a group of kids that really won back-to-back league titles for junior high, and you're really expecting some of those kids to come in and kind of help us out.
Yeah, it's changing for us. What it's changing the most is wanting our older kids to set up a program that brings those kids in, and it's easy to lose that difference between junior high to high school. I think that our older kids are going to help guide them and bring them in and have that same success that they had in junior high.
Brian, real quick as we close out, when you look at the season, I know every meet's unique and different, and that's one thing that's nice about cross country. One thing that we have here at Piqua have established last year, and it looks like we're going to maybe start a little tradition, is that night race.
Yeah.
That's something that's been very attractive for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. Yep. Give me a little insight on your end of what you think that race means, not just to Piqua, but also to our community, and to outline for schools that want to come and participate in it.
Yeah, honestly, it probably comes down to fun. We enjoyed it last year on a kind of an abbreviated scale. It was a good way for us to test it out and see if it worked, and I think that success moved around to some of the other teams, and we're seeing a lot of interest for teams that we've never hosted before that are planning on coming. So it's fun. I think the kids enjoy it. The nighttime aspect is fun. The DJ, things going on, and I know our kids are looking forward to being the host, and others are looking forward to coming.
It's a good energy, and I'm certainly looking forward to great things for boys cross country, and we'll certainly get that night race here on the Indian Nation station, at least highlights of it, and Brian, we look forward to a great year for the Indians.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back. We're going to talk to our seniors when we return. With us now are our seniors for girls cross country, and I'm going to have them introduce their name and what grade they're in.
Gabby Crumis, I'm a senior. Cassie Shrub, I'm a senior.
Alyssa Arthur, I'm a senior.
Alyssa, I'm going to let you start us off here. This year, what are some of the goals and expectations that we have as a team and as an individual, maybe?
As a team, I'm hoping that we just all have a good season, honestly. Yeah. And then individually, I would like to at least take a minute off my time. So.
It's a good goal.
Yeah.
Good goal. Cassie?
Individually, I want to try to make it to regionals for the 4th year, and as a team, like top 3 at the MVL.
All right.
Individually, I'd like to make it back to districts, and as a team, like Alyssa said, for everyone to have like a good year and just give it their all.
You guys have, cross country is a little different than some of the other sports. You guys get to really run into some unique environments and courses. Is there one particular race or course that you're looking forward to, or meet that you look forward to every year?
I probably look forward to Bob Schul and MVL course, because I always do like really good at those.
Good.
I'm probably looking forward to like Saturday Night Lights, because like just the atmosphere and everyone's just so pumped because it's like all at night. It's really fun. Yes.
Mine would be the same as Gabby's. I really like Bob Schul.
Yeah.
So.
Good opportunities for courses, and those are really true cross-country courses that you get to run in the woods, and you get to really feel like you're kind of into that course. So, well, we certainly wish you guys luck. I would be remiss if I didn't ask the question I've asked every senior that we've introduced this year thus far. So you guys are obviously good runners, and you enjoy that, and you put a lot of time and effort and miles on the road, but what do you guys enjoy doing just for fun outside of cross country?
I don't know. I mean, I do show choir too, so I guess I like to sing, yeah.
I like going to Snow Shack and getting some shaved ice.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I don't want to be like hang out with friends. I probably like hanging out in my room, just like painting or something.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of everything. You guys, 3 different answers we haven't had yet. So.
Hey, let's go.
Well, the show choir, I think you've had that one, but that's still pretty good. We appreciate that. Ladies, good luck this year. We wish you guys all the best, and I know those goals will come well in for you, and you guys are going to do outstanding. And I'm looking forward to seeing how we do the Bob Schul deal and Saturday Night Lights.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll be back with the boys seniors when we return. We are now with our boys cross country team, and as you can see, we've got quite a few of them, so I'm going to have them introduce themselves, give your name, and of course the grade you're in.
Okay. I'm Paul Hines. I'm a senior.
I'm Kale Barr, I'm a senior.
I'm Noah Baker, I'm a senior.
Bryce Gephardt, I'm a senior.
Jesse Fairman, I'm a senior.
Nolan Campbell, and I'm a senior.
All right. Nolan, I want to have you hold on to that. We're into cross country. Coach talked about great expectations for you, an exciting year for us as a team. Talk a little bit about what course or what meet that you guys are looking forward to participating in.
Well, I was really looking forward to our Country Club 5K at Piqua, but unfortunately we're not running that this year. So I'm kind of looking forward for any night race.
Night race, yeah. All right. Saturday Night Lights.
Yeah, I'm looking for Saturday Night Lights. It's probably my favorite race right there.
Same with me, night races all the way.
Yeah, night races are pretty cool, but I'm also looking forward to Sydney because I'm hoping to set a PR there.
I'm looking forward to Saturday Night Lights as well, but also probably sectionals as well.
As anyone else, I'm looking forward to Saturday Night Lights.
Well done, Paul. Saturday Night Lights pretty popular here. All right, I'm going to have you hold that. I don't know why you handed that to me.
I don't know.
It's all right. I want you guys just to tell me one thing you guys enjoy doing outside of cross country.
Photography and videography.
Tennis, mainly.
Listening to music and looking at cars.
That's a good one.
Photography and cars. That's my main thing I love to do.
Playing basketball.
Campaigning and making money.
That's for sure the one we've had. That's a pretty good one. Guys, we certainly wish you guys luck. I know it's going to be an exciting year for you all, and I know that goals-wise, you guys have high expectations. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. And on Saturday Night Lights, you will see these guys here, Saturday Night Lights, here at on the Indian Nation station. Guys, good luck to you, and we'll be back talking girls tennis when we return. We are now here with our head girls tennis coach, Melissa Rhodes. Melissa, second year as you're under the helm. What's it feel like being, do you feel a little different now as having a year under your belt after coming into year two?
Yes, I sure do. It's been really nice watching the girls grow and develop and build confidence on the court and getting to know them as individuals and helping them develop our team to what it is.
Well, and to that, you've got some seasoned girls, some girls with some experience, and we got 5 seniors this year. But talk a little bit about not necessarily just that group, but just our team and your expectations and goals for this year.
Okay. We have a really strong group of sophomores coming up. They started last year as freshmen, and one of them we're putting on varsity this year, but I plan to alternate and give others opportunities to fill that 7th spot as well. But it's a really good chance for them to grow and develop for next year's team. We are probably going to be the middle of the pack. We have a good competitive team, so I really want to build confidence and take it one shot at a time and make sure that those girls feel confident and that they've done their best when they walk off the court.
Well, you know, we talk about competitive in our tennis program, and I know we talked about this last year in the fall preview. Our program has really come a long way, and we're a team where we are competitive, and we're not just hoping out for the best. I mean, you've got some kids, Arabella and Izzy, who's been playing for quite a few years and been playing varsity tennis for a long time. So those kids like that are really helpful. And of course, the Pleasant twins last year were fantastic at doubles. So a lot of kids that have really good competition experience against good teams.
They do. And we're going to take, our goal is for sectionals to take our #1 and #2 singles, Izzy King and Arabella Partee, and put them together as a doubles team. And we had the opportunity to do that at the tournament this past weekend, and we will build on their skills for that throughout the season.
Tennis is a little different in that, you know, so you got Arabella's playing first singles and Izzy's playing 2 second singles. In the tournament, you can put them in those spots, or you can combine wherever you want for tournament scenarios. areas, and those two really have played well together, haven't they?
They have, yeah, and they enjoy being on the court together, and it gives them a little bit of break from the loneliness of being on the singles court. So.
Goals for, or not even goals, what are you, is there a particular match or anything you're looking forward to this year as far as for our kids to kind of gauge us to success? I know we participate in the tennis tournament at Tip City, at the Schroeder's tournament. What are there some things like that you're looking forward to as a coach to kind of get a gauge as to where we are?
I am. The past tournament this weekend in Wapakoneta was a good experience for them, and then it'll kind of help us gauge where we are for the Schroeder tournament this coming weekend. The Schroeder tournament's a new experience for me, but I have a feel for the teams and the competition that'll be there. So,
well, Coach, I know we have a good team and good coaches, and we appreciate what you guys put into it, and we encourage everybody to come out and watch. Again, you can get that schedule, tennis schedule, on the Piqua Indian Athletic website, and you'll get some updates throughout the year, because there'll be a show for fall sports here on the Indian Nation Station.
All right.
Coach Rhodes, we wish you well.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our seniors when we return. With us now are our seniors for our tennis team, and they're going to introduce themselves, and they're also going to tell you their grade, just for fun.
I'm Izzy King, and I'll be a senior.
I'm Hannah Pleasant, and I'll be a senior. I'm Grace Pleasant, and I'll be a senior.
I'm Arabella Party, and I'll be a senior.
I'm Lauren Hicks, and I'll be a senior.
Lauren, let's start with you. Talk about what match this year or team you're looking forward to playing the most this year.
I'm just really looking forward to senior night, when we can just come out here with our parents and our friends and our family and just hang out and just start off the season and kind of end it also.
That's good.
I'm looking forward to the match with Fairborn. Last year I had a 3-set match with their first singles, and it was 3 hours, so I think this year will be good competition.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to playing Greenville, because it was also a 3-set match, and I just want to play them again because it was a crazy match.
Yeah, mine's Greenville too, because it's really competitive, and I think we have a good shot this year. It's going to be a good match.
Before you pass it on, I feel I would be robbing the viewers if I didn't ask this question. What's it like as sisters to be playing doubles, and what's that experience?
It's awesome. It's awesome. I think you have obviously everyone who plays doubles together has a certain bond with their teammate, but when you're sisters, it brings a whole new element into it. You communicate differently, you work together differently. It's a really cool thing to experience. I'm really glad we got to.
Good.
I think I'm looking forward to playing Troy the most this year, because we've always been so back and forth with them, and personally it's like my one last battle to kind of finish out the season, so I'm excited for that.
Our tennis team has really gotten better, and a lot of you have played through the years, and a lot of you have been through the transition of seeing us progress and being one of the more competitive teams in our league. I am going to ask you one more question about tennis, and then I'm going to ask you a fun question that I've been asking all of our seniors. But what goals do you have for our team this year, or even individually?
I think individually, I'm personally looking forward to sectionals at the end of the year. That's always my favorite match, because I think everyone plays at the peak of their game then, so I'm excited to see how everyone does.
Great.
As a team, I want to see us finish together. I think sometimes toward the end of our matches we start getting out of our mindset and losing what we came there to do. So I think as a team, I want to start collectively working together more.
I just want to see us win. I know there's a lot of matches we gave away last year for no reason. I think we can come back and win those this season.
I agree with Izzy. I'm looking forward to sectionals. I think it's a really great bonding moment for the team, and I think this year our team has a really good chance of going to districts.
I just want us all to have good attitudes this year, because I know, like, sometimes, personally, like, sometimes, you know, you start losing and you get a bad attitude. But I think if we just keep our good attitudes, it helps us win, it helps us look better as a team, and just it's just better.
You talk a lot, Lauren, there's about attitude. Tennis, it really can get in your head pretty quickly. You know, when you're out here It's just you and your opponents, and a lot of times it's not the opponent that's beating you, it's inside your head.
Sure.
And
Yes.
getting outside of your head is tough. We talk about the sectionals, and I'm going to get to the fun question here in a minute, but Izzy, you said that first, and then Arabella, you followed up on that. That gets to be really competitive. Tennis is competitive, but it's also very competitive, and when you want to advance, it gets a little chippy sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, here's a fun question. I want you to tell me what you enjoy doing outside of tennis. Give me one thing that you enjoy that's when you're outside of here. What do you do that you enjoy?
I read and I work and I have plants. I take care of them.
All right.
That's it.
This might sound a little weird, but I really enjoy learning Mandarin. It's like so cool learning another language, and I have like a lot of things that I dedicate to learn and talk to other people.
Can you give us a sentence in Mandarin? Pick what tennis is going to have a good season.
好, pick what tennis fighting. Oh, that's the wrong language. Oops.
I like to go out to eat with my friends.
I like to swim a lot. I swim a lot. It's really fun to be in the water.
I pretty much just spend my time working and hanging out with my friends.
That's a good one. Those are good. I'm going to let you hold on to that. Okay. Mandarin, that's the first time in this show that we ever had a little Mandarin, so thank you for adding that to it. And girls, we wish you well. I know this is going to be a fun year for you guys, a lot of expectations of just good camaraderie, but also some tennis where we're going to have some success and we're going to win some matches. Yeah. Good luck, ladies.
Thank you.
This will wrap up the fall preview show for the year. We encourage you to get onto the Indian Nation station. There we will have some highlights of the team throughout the year. There will be a fall sports show that you're going to find out how our teams are doing and all of our sports teams. Again, we encourage you to get on the Indian Nation station, get the schedule. They will be on throughout the fall. Also encourage you to come out and watch these young ladies and these young men. They put a lot of time and effort outside of their sport to make this special for their team, their program, and their city. So, for the girls seniors, I'm Chip Hare. We will see you at the matches.